You won't believe the outcry that followed the release of Piper Perobo's personal bikini images. The intimacy of the photos stunned even adult admirers. Keep checking back as I go over everything that happened, Piper's reaction, and why this incident has everyone talking about privacy, permission, and the fine line between exposure and art. It began with an attempt to sell stock photo agency leftovers by a photographer who had worked with Piper on a behind-the-scenes beach campaign. In those photos, Piper was wearing a small micro-bikini that barely covered her curves. The design allowed for very little space for interpretation thanks to its extremely thin straps, high-cut bottoms, and delicately knotted top. The original plan was to produce a happy, carefree limited edition art book. Such images were not expected to be made public within hours of the discovery. Screenshots flooded fan pages and gossip blogs. "That's way too much, even for adults," was one of the many reactions. To admiration, "She looks gorgeous." Parents were worried that curious children would find the pictures. Longtime fans disagreed about whether these images went too far in being overly intimate, even if they backed Piper's freedom to artistic expression. Suddenly, a private artistic endeavor became a global topic. Major entertainment websites instantly picked up the news. The headlines read, "Too exposed," and Piper Perobo's bikini leak sparks outrage. Fans were divided about the star's explicit photos. Talk show hosts talked about privacy in the digital age, while parenting forums recommended caution and the use of filters. Everyone is curious as to whether a celebrity's private artwork becomes public property once it is exposed. Piper made the decision to be open when confronted with the repercussions. She gave a moving explanation on social media, stating that the pictures were a part of a private art project and were never intended for public viewing. She apologized to anyone aggrieved and instructed the hosting websites to take down the pictures immediately. She stated, "These were not clickbait, they were meant as personal art." Her tone was sincere, balancing respect for her audience with pride in her artistic vision. Soon after, a lot of websites removed explicit galleries and replaced them with sanitized samples. Some, however, opposed, claiming public interest. Piper's team had to submit formal takedown notices using copyright and privacy laws, although it was impossible to totally eliminate the internet. Each successful removal seemed like a small victory. However, admirers commended her for accepting responsibility for the issue rather than fleeing, and she received acclaim for her rapid and honest reaction. In interviews, Piper thought about the broader lessons. She talked on the importance of using secure file storage, protecting private work, and watermarking photos meant for limited audiences. If you come across something that feels too personal or invasive, pause before you click share. Additionally, she urged clients to think twice before sharing. Her candid advice resonated with viewers and artists alike, sparking conversations about responsibility and decency in the digital realm. At the same moment, rumors gave way to praise on social media. Piper's supporters thanked her for her honesty and for standing up for artistic integrity. Numerous others commended her for coming up and related their own experiences of private chats or photos being compromised. In their letters, photographers and other actors voiced their support, highlighting how common these leaks have become, even for those who are not in the public eye. If Piper Perobo's story opened your eyes, stay tuned for my next video in which I'll look at another celebrity event that sparked global conversation. Please hit the like button, subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at Hollywood's biggest surprises, and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any updates. If this story made you think, we appreciate you watching.